This is On the Radar for On the Radar and Tape Blog, coming to another edition of Movie Reviews and Observations, number 49. My goal was to try to finish the movie list that I made from last year's movies, and the first one I watched was The Library Bought It was Z. So this kid has a make-believe friend who's telling him to do evil things, and the parents think he's just acting out. And then it turns out to be that, no offense, I'm sorry to ruin it for you, but it's like, oh no, this used to be the woman's imaginary friend who was evil when she was a kid, because the social worker brings it up, and it's just like, it wasn't that good. It was an interesting idea. It wasn't that long, but not a great horror film. Then I watched another movie I asked the library to buy that I wanted to watch, was 2 Minutes of Fame. So it's basically Jay Farrow is trying to be a stand-up comedian, and he's famous for doing impressions. And it starts to offend like the people he impersonates, like Cat Williams. So Cat Williams was basically like playing a fictionalized version of himself. And the whole movie is Jay Farrow's got to decide, does he want to support Keke Palmer, his girl, and his child, and work like a regular job, or does he want to pursue his dreams and goes to L.A.? And this movie has like a bunch of actors and comedians that people have seen before, so it's pretty interesting. Because Sinbad was in it, some others, they were just playing themselves, hanging out with Cat Williams, and Dion Cole was playing like his manager. And it's like, is he going to succeed, or is he going to fail as a stand-up comedian and not be able to support his wife, his girl, and his kid? And of course, all the movies, if they're very cliche, that they wouldn't make the movie where he fails as a stand-up comedian and his girl hates him and never lets see the kid. It has to turn out good in the end, and of course, it's one of the movies where, of course, it's going to turn out good in the end. And it was funny. It wasn't that long, and, both Cat Williams and Jay Farrow were really funny in the movie, so yeah, I would suggest it, because the guy playing Jay Farrow's like Buddy. He's hilarious, too, in the movie. And then I saw the movie Olympic Dreams. And in this movie, they filmed it at the Olympics. And, and it was like the first time they let a movie be filmed there. And this is a Olympian who went from being an Olympian to a filmmaker. She's the lead in this movie, Alex Pappas, where she's a competitor and she's, it's like a rom-com way where she meets a guy who's, happens to be a volunteer dentist. And Nick Kroll plays a volunteer awkward dentist, not getting the hint that she's interested in him, and pretty much everybody else in this movie, they like had cameos from other Olympians and stuff. So it was actually pretty good, and I laughed a bit. It was an interesting concept, and some people may say that it was better to watch the behind the scenes of how they did it. But overall, I thought it was a funny movie. It's not the worst movie, it's not the best movie, but yeah, Olympic Dreams and 2 Minutes of Fame made me laugh. Then I watched another horror film where it's like the way that the description of this horror film is that these girls, are going to a concert, they meet up with some guys, and then things turn out bad, and you're like, oh, okay, these dudes are predators or they're murderers, and they're going to kill them. But of course, the problem with this movie was the twist wasn't a twist ending. They did the twist like in the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie, and you're like, I got almost an hour left of the movie, and the twist has already happened. The twist is so stupid is that these girls are part of some occult thingy from some preacher who everybody thinks is so good, and part of the cult is they're like killing people and stuff. And, like the bad scum of the earth, and Johnny Knoxville plays this preacher who's weird in it and stuff, and there are the guys who play the dudes, people have seen them before, so that was the thing. You can't have a plot twist in the first 20, 30 minutes, and then the movie is an hour going on, like, okay, so they're the ones that are killing and kidnapping people, are part of the people that do it, and it's not these guys. What's going to happen? They're going to die? They're going to survive? What's going on? And it was just all over the place and wasn't that good. So don't watch the movie We Summon Darkness. Just bad decision. Then there was a movie the library didn't buy, and I was a little bit sad because I was like, wait a minute. You got Oliver Cooper and John Lovitz, who are both like comedic actors, like comedy guys. So they'll just be in random movies. And Luke Wilson has done a pretty good job in his career of being a very good serious actor, and he's currently on Stargirl playing the stepfather, and he's really good at that role as well. That I'm saying to myself, like, he's a really good actor, wants to be, and at this point he should be an only good thing. I don't know how much money they paid him or said, hey, we're going to go to Jamaica and film this movie, and I think it was like over the top, racist, like stereotypes of Jamaicans. Oliver Cooper was pretending to have a Jamaican accent. Then the whole story to get to where they are, there was like this long beginning to it where it's dragging on of how we introduce the characters instead of, okay, here's the movie and let's see what happens. The thing is, these people who randomly meet, who's come from different types of families, like Canadian, American, whatever it is, different different backgrounds. They were gonna have like a vacation away, and Luke Wilson's like the brother, and they're gonna have it in like Bahamas or whatever it is, one of these Caribbean places, and of course bad weather shifts into Jamaica, and the main character's best friend says, "Yeah, let's go find a hotel," and they find out it's a swinger hotel. So they're naked people. There's just all this erotic stuff going on, and you're like, great. Do I really want my parents and my in-laws from each character's perspective here on the island and stuff like that? And the massage parlors, all this just stuff that's over the top, and then there are people, over the top Jamaican accents, and it's just like, there are creepy parts of the movies of both sets of parents getting really close in a weird way. And it's all cliche thing where it's a swingers island, so like you're gonna screw up your engagement, and she thinks he cheated, but he didn't. So, and then the whole thing is you got to win her back, all this other stuff. And I'm just saying to myself, like, it was like really badly filmed, horribly written. Outside of Luke Wilson, Oliver Cooper, and John Lovett, like none of these guys are really good actors or actresses. I don't know who was directing this movie, but it was really, really bad. I don't know who edited it. Just all aspects of the movie. They made it, and it got to the final editing station. They're like, yeah, this is good. No, it was not. I don't understand it. I don't know why Luke Wilson wastes his time. So don't watch the movie. The Swinger Thing is one of the worst movies. Because then they have, like, dolphins and other animals just saying the words butts and, and other parts. It's just like, I don't need to, hear that. It's just stupid. It doesn't give anything to the movie. Then I watched a children's movie called The Secret Garden, in which I found out that it was based off a book, obviously, but they made the movie in the 90s. This one is Colin Firth is the, uncle. And the way the premise is set up is that this girl loses her parents, and she's stuck in the house, and they send her to live with her uncle, but I'm not sure if he's in England or they're mentioning it like in India. I don't know. It was very, trying to remember where they were and where she was. And there's a supposedly magical garden, and, that's a very kids thing to do. She's sent to live with her uncle. Nowhere does it say on the box that she has cousins or there's other kids. You just have to be like, okay, cool. Based on the description, there are other kids in the movie. There are other helpers and things like that. And they throw, let's just have it, her parents are gone. Let's have her mother's sister, who's how she's related to Colin Firth, she's gone and he's a mess. And the kid's a mess and all this other stuff. And it was like cute. It was like, adorable, some of the stuff with the animals and everything. A typical like children movie, everything goes well, nobody dies in terms of nobody dies in the middle of the movie. Like this, the backstory of the movie starts off where people are dead, but in terms of like this movie, nothing really bad happened in the movie, and it was inspirational for kids, and good things happened. But yeah, for an hour and 30-something minutes, it's not a bad movie to watch with your children because it's not inappropriate, and Colin Firth's a good actor. Then the last movie that I watched was And Then We Danced. It was this Georgian movie where we read the description, you're like, these two young dancers are devoted. They're like partners on the dance floor, and they're partners in like life or something. And I was like, the two of them are trying to make the national team, and they got to be perfect. But then they said another person comes and ruins the dynamic, and that it screws them up in terms of dance partners and relationships. So I was like, this dude's moving in on his territory as a dancer with the girl and dating her because I thought he liked her. But then it turns into a movie where his brother's the dancer, but he's a problem child. His parents are divorced, and the mother's struggling, and the grandma lives there. And he, instead of, him being rivals with the dude, they fall for each other. And I'm just like, got no problem with it in a movie, but there's like just no warning. Like there's some movies where I read the description, I'm like, okay, it's about two men or two women or a man and a woman. I'm like, okay, I get it. But this completely description on the back, I'm going to blame like the vendor at the library where there's nothing like the way it says it is. And then you got to do all the brothers crap and his crap, and it was okay. It's not the worst movie. It was watchable, even though it's with subtitles because it's a Georgian movie, and it's an hour and 50 minutes. It's not that long. But overall, only Swing of Things, like the worst thing I've ever seen in a while. And you're getting for this video, I watch a movie every day, so that's a really big statement to say. I'm gonna say Z was just a horribly done horror film. Same thing with We Summon the Darkness, where the plot twist is way too early. And then, Olympic Dreams and 2 Minutes of Fame were nice comedies to watch. They're not the best movies, but they were both clever ideas. Secret Garden was an okay kids movie, kids can watch. And Then We Danced was an okay foreign film. Thanks for listening to another edition of Movie Reviews and Observations, number 49. For On the Radar Table Log, I'm Radar. See you guys next time.